for me. Blood in my dog and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fuck.
Just a quick update on the cars. This should be a pretty fun video. It's Thursday now. This weekend, I get to drive Pat's Acres. I'm super excited. Huge update in this video on what's going on with PARC Drift and the process that they're going through to reopen to the public, to go back to normal monthly events and stuff. We're all hoping for that. It's still up in the air, but I am gonna be able to drift there this Saturday. Chris, the owner, reached out to me and said he needs to put together some sound tests to compare drifting to what they're already allowed to do. They have motocross, go-karts, enduro bikes, stuff like that's already allowed on the property at that place. So we need to have a session to compare with professional sound team to compare the sound that drifting makes compared to that other stuff. Again, this isn't to enforce any sort of sound ordinance on drifting. If it gets approved and they reopen in the near future, but he is just using this information to apply for his new permits for the property to get drifting allowed. So he reached out to me. We're good friends. I live close by. Obviously, I'll have the Ecotech car there, which is probably the quietest drift car you'll ever see on a track. Can't hear anything but the tires in that thing. So I'll have that there. And I do plan to take the RB car as well. I put a whole new exhaust system on it. It's relatively quiet the way it is, but the muffler did come with one of those slide-in silencers, so I will be putting that in to drive that. Or I might just take the Ecotech car. It's still kind of up in the air. So as you can see, I've got the Ecotech car up on the race ramps, just did an oil change. And I also fixed the catch can issue. When this is in a cobalt, the engine is physically leaning the opposite direction. Because of that, now that it's in a rear-wheel drive application and it's tilted the opposite way, I think that's what was causing most of my issues. So the oil is pooling in the head more than it should because most of the drains are on this side. This is the lowest point of the PCV. This is one of the higher points. There's a PCV valve built into the manifold between these two cylinders, which I've already replaced with a new valve. And here's the oil cap. So the way that I had it set up for the last event, and it was filling this up, was I had the standard oil cap on, and then these two were going to the catch can. Well, as you can see, the motor's tilted that way. This is just way too low, and it was blowing oil right into the catch can. So after talking with Oscar, we came to the conclusion that maybe capping these would be a good idea and venting just the oil cap to the catch can. So I went ahead and just drove the car to Radium, since they're local, and let the owner of Radium put his eyeballs on it with my setup. And he said if it was him, he would go ahead and do the cap, which I did. You see they got a Radium. He uses the same oil cap as an LS motor. He recommended to put the vented cap on, put that to the catch can, and then just vent one of these. And then if it still was blowing by, swap it to the other one. And if it was still blowing by, cap both of them and just run the oil cap vent. Well, I went ahead and capped the lowest one first and kept this one to the can and the oil cap to the can. And I ripped on it all the way home and drove it around the neighborhood for a while. No issues. So I'm super excited to have that finally sorted out. The RB car, I got tired of looking at with all the mix match body panels on. So I went ahead yesterday after work and took the body kit off and painted the doors and the mirrors and the wide body and the body kit. just primered. The shell itself was pretty much already primered gray. The hood, the roof, the trunk. So I just had to do the body kit and the wide body and the doors and the mirrors and the wing. So now I'm gonna put that together, so in case I do decide to drive it this weekend, it looks halfway decent. RV car all put together. Definitely a lot easier on the eyes now. I do still need to make the bracket for the grill so I can mount that. But yeah, looks decent. I did have this wing sitting around from the Ecotech car, so I put that on. And I also made some brackets for my Status Halo seat. Got the Villains logo in there. And put the new Status harness in. Got the hydro all situated. This thing's actually, besides missing carpet and a back seat and some trim, it's got pretty decent interior. Also found these sweet 3D printed window switches on eBay. They come with a harness and a wiring diagram, so you just cut the original plug and splice the wires together. And they make one for the passenger side and the driver's side. So power windows work. And this thing is pretty much ready to hit the streets or hit the track. Can't wait to drive it. These new GMRs in bronze look really good on there as well. So I think that's it for now. I'll see you guys Friday night or Saturday morning. It is Saturday morning. Got my Villains car ready to go. Jessica's car is ready to go. Got my buddy Nestor here from Tri-Cities. We are headed to PARC. Man, I cannot tell you how excited I've been. So I'm hoping that this is gonna be a good follow-up video to kind of explain to everyone what's going on the last few months and what's going to happen hopefully the next few months. So on our way to the track. I'm out here with Chris and we are doing well, I'll just let Chris explain it to you.
So what we're after today is we've got sound technicians out here with a bunch of monitors all set up, and so we're going to make a bunch of noise, and then we are going to compare that to some drifting. And basically we just got to put together enough data to where we can go back to the county and show that the drifting does not have a greater adverse impact on the surrounding area than our allowable activities. So we will know quite a bit here in the next 4 or 5 hours, and hopefully we'll get back to seeing a lot of you guys out here.
Yeah, so Chris was nice enough to let Jessica and I come out here and shred for what hopefully is not one last time. But we're still thankful to be out here today, and we're excited for, you know, the results to come back in our favor, hopefully. Yeah. And And yeah, so we got the track for a few hours today with the supermoto guys and the dirt bike guys, and I'm pretty sure we're not any louder than them, but that's why we're here.
This is not a drift event. You did not miss out on anything. This is definitely a closed session. We just need to see what kind of noise we generate. So hopefully we'll see you guys out here soon.
And I will post another update video in a couple weeks, hopefully with the results from Chris, what he hears back from the court after they submit this stuff. But I'll try to do my best to keep you all in the loop, and hopefully we'll be seeing another park drift event on the calendar when my next video drops.
I just want to sell shirts that say we're back.
We're back. Yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, stay tuned for some drift footage.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Andy for coordinating all the bike guys. Brett and Jess, thanks for getting the car guys together. Mike, thank you for getting everything prepped out there and ready to go. What we're doing today is a sound test. We are, I'm assuming most of you understand, know we're in the battle with the county over the drifting and blah, 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 blah. Without getting into a bunch of stuff. We need to compare what we're allowed to do with what the drift does.
Excited?
Oh yeah.
About to go out for our first laps at Pat's Acres in over 2 years. Well, we've done a couple sessions, having a blast. But Jessica decided to go into the dirt hill. And it's supposed to be straight.
This is probably the last session.
Yeah,
So it might be the last time we drive PARC.
it might be.
Big sound.
Hopefully not. All right, well, we just finished up drifting at Pat's Acres for the sound test.
We finished up a sound test, not a drift event.
So what's the next step?
We'll sit back and I'll hopefully get some of the data and see where things are at by the end of this upcoming week. Thanks to everybody that came out, 7 or 8 cars that showed up. That was very helpful. We had a ton of bikes out here playing, and all we can do is sit back and cross our fingers and say a prayer and hope that the numbers are in our favor.
Yeah.
If they are, we'll continue to fight. If they're not in our favor, it's, we'll probably start organizing.
Yeah.
Cut.
Oh, just driving Jessica's car home with like 20 degrees of tow out. Made it home from Pat's Acres. Originally, I was gonna drive the RB car and let Oscar drive the Ecotech car, but he had some stuff to do with the kids today that he had forgot about, so he ended up not coming to the testing day. So nobody drove the RB car. Ecotech car ran great. The new catch can setup never filled up. Did probably 30 to 40 laps, and those are pretty long laps at PARC. No issues, so I'm super excited about that. Jessica's car, on the other hand, so she was going into the back sweeper, and the way she explains it is she ran out of second gear because we haven't driven there in 2+ years, and she definitely hasn't driven there in this car. So she hit the back sweeper, started drifting it in second, ran out of second before she got to the hairpin, and the car gripped up because it lost power because she was at the limit. And when it gripped up, she was close to that hairpin and panic braked a little bit, and it just went right off track into the dirt berm. So you can see this wheel is towed out a bunch because they came home and got the S14 LCA, and we put that on just so I could drive it home. Other than that though, just kind of pushed in the fender right there a little bit and got the car all dirty and some scuffs on the rocker, but nothing really too bad. Pretty sure I can straighten the fender. Now I have the task of yanking the front end apart, at least this side, and seeing if the subframe is okay and the traction arm is okay, and fix that. Good news is there's progress on PARC hopefully reopening. Bad news is there's still no word. So Chris does have a court date at the end of June to submit the paperwork for this sound test today, and he should know within 30 days of that court date, yes or no to reopen. So hopefully by the end of July, we'll have a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I was super thankful to Chris for letting Jessica and I come out and drift. Obviously we live close by. It's pretty much in our hometown, and we really miss it. So just want to say thank you again to Chris for allowing us to come out and be part of the testing day. And we are definitely pulling for the reopen, and hopefully it happens. But I'm going to end the video here, and I will see everybody at the Villains VIP event in a few weeks. That should be a whole lot of fun. I think there's going to be like 30 teams from the PNW and a couple from some other places. So I'll see everybody there. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Peace.